Hello everyone, today I'm making Koesisters, which is one of my all-time favorite things to make, and it's also a firm favorite here in Cape Town on a Sunday morning to have Koesisters for breakfast. Okay, I'll start now. This is 5 cups of cake flour, and then I'm going to add the rest of the dry ingredients. So this is 3 tablespoons of aniseed. This is 2.5 tablespoons of cinnamon. It's ground cinnamon. This is 10 grams of yeast. This is a tablespoon of ground ginger. This is a tablespoon of ground cardamom mixed together with a little bit of ground naartjie. If you don't have it, this is the naartjie peels. It comes fresh, but I've dried mine. So I'll throw this in my syrup later to infuse that flavor. If you don't have it, you don't have to add it, but it would be very nice to add the fresh. I use normally the fresh naartjie zests and I throw it in here. But I don't have fresh naartjies because it's April 2020 and the whole world is on lockdown because of the COVID-19. So I'm going to make the Koesisters with what I have. Now this is 5 cups. Now, because I've made this a million times, let me explain quickly. I have a 4-cup recipe, a 5-cup recipe, a 10-cup recipe, an 8-cup recipe, because I can do it by the eye. But this recipe is specifically for this video. Tomorrow, I may only have 4 cups of flour, and then I'll adjust the recipe to that amount. Okay, so this is the 5-cup flour Koesister. Okay, what else? 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Let me get this all off. Okay, and that's to give it extra lightness and a extra rise. Okay, what else do I have here? And 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, I have 300 ml of water and 250 ml of milk and 3 tablespoons of butter that I put in the microwave for 1 minute to 15 seconds, right? That's in here. And now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar in here. I'm just going to stir it because I didn't have caster sugar, just ordinary sugar. So I'm just going to stir it in here because it's warm, not hot, warm to lukewarm. Okay, and I'm just going to dissolve the sugar in here. Now, what else can I tell you? The dough of Koesister should always be sticky, not smooth. Sticky. Because if it's a smooth dough, then that means you threw in too little liquid. A Koesister wants to be light and airy, and to get that result, the dough has to be sticky and soft. Okay, there we go. Make sure it's nice and dissolved. Here I have 1 egg beaten. Okay, take another spoon. Let me just stir all this together. Now, these spices are according to my taste, my own personal taste. If you want to adjust it a little bit, please do so. Because years ago, I didn't like Koesisters with a lot of cardamom. I just couldn't stand it. I was not fond of it, to say it nicely. And as the years progressed and I started eating and adding a bit more, a little bit of cardamom, I got really used to it, and now I can't have Koesisters without cardamom in it. And of course, the aniseed. Now, the darker you want your Koesister, the more sugar you throw in and the more cinnamon. Okay, that's for a dark Koesister, which I love. I love dark Koesisters. It's like super dark brown. Okay, now I'm going to add my wet ingredients. Let's add a little bit. And the egg. Sorry for the noise, guys. Let's give it a stir quickly. You can use your hands, of course, if you want to get into that, into the dough. Okay. And now I'm going to stir. Okay, there we go. You can make this in the week ahead of time. There we go. Perfect. And just stir it well. I'm actually going to use my hand now. Okay. Get into it. And you'll see it's sticky. And you want that. Okay. You'll probably be tempted to add more flour here. Don't. I've measured everything here accordingly. Okay. Get that flour at the bottom. Okay. Nice and mix through. See there, guys? And I'll take all these bits off. Of course, clean hands. Was jou hande voor jy begin. In English, wash your hands before you start cooking and making anything. Okay, and I'll be right back to show you the next step. Okay, so I've washed my hands and I'm going to just dip my hands in some oil, right? Just oil the dough a bit. I want to use the same bowl to let it rise in. Now see here, right? Now you saw how sticky it was. Now let me show you this. It's really soft. When you put the oil on, there's nothing sticks. So now we clean it up and let it rise. Oh yes, this is a no need. Koesister, you don't need it. Like this, and you let it rise until you'll see the dough touches the plastic, and then it's ready. Okay, and now for the next step. Okay, so I've made a batch earlier on, and here it is, nicely risen. And if you have just a normal surface like this, you can oil your surface or you can flour it. I've put my wooden plank here, so I've put some flour on here for the interest of this, my little cozy corner here. Now you can roll it out and make some nice long little snake sizes, or you can just take the dough out, right? Let me show you. Look at that. And this is just to show you how to do it, okay? Okay. Now, of course, you can cut it and make a nice long smooth roll, and then you can just do this. Please don't make it too big because they they rise a lot. I normally make big ones. I can't help myself. Like, yeah, I'm tempted to keep this size, but it's too big. Okay, you can do this. You can roll, right? There we go. You can make it into an oval shape, or you can do it before you fry, or you can just make, can you see there? Pinch it all together. Look at that. And then you have this nice round shape. Okay. And I lightly oil my fingers. Or you can leave it just so, like my mom used to do, and she'd just do that. She'll just do this. And keep them a nice space from each other. Okay. Now they're quite soft, and if you keep it long enough, it will stretch into an oval shape because they're very soft. Okay, and now I'm just going to carry on making the shapes. Can you see the spices? Show you one more how to do it. You can roll it, right? Or you can do where you pinch in from behind. And then you also have a nice look there. Okay, I'm going to continue with this, and then I'm going to let it rest until it also has risen a little bit, and then we're going to fry it. We'll be right back. Okay, while the Koesisters they're resting, before it's going to be fried, we're going to make the syrup. Now I'm going to make, I don't know if you watched my previous videos, I keep the leftovers for other bakes and for other uses. So this is, I'm making a lot, right? So this is 3 cups of water. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 cups of sugar. If you are in a big hurry, you add more sugar, right? But keep it like this. So normally you have, if you want to do a small amount, you use 2 cups of water, 3 cups of sugar. And if you want it nice and thick and syrupy, very quickly. So now I'm going to add some stick cinnamon, a few cardamom pods, and the dried. You can use fresh as well, eh? Okay, I don't have, so that's. So this is just going to boil, simmer nice until it becomes a nice syrup, and it sticks, and the sugar has melted, and I'll be back with the next step. Okay, the syrup is done. It's cooked now for 10 minutes from boiling point. Can go a bit longer, but I don't like my syrup too thick. And see there, it has a slower run than water, and all these bubbles will appear, and then you'll know, okay, you're ready to sugar it. But first we're gonna fry the Koesisters. Okay, to test your oil, this is 2 liters of oil in a deep pot. You take a stick, skewer, okay, lots of bubbles, or you can take a small piecey and throw it in. Your piecey come off my hand. There we go. There it comes. Now we're going to fry. Okay. Here we go. And your heat is on high. And then after about the first batch, you put it a bit lower, okay? Medium to high. See, it's nice and soft. You can make it more even if you like. I don't mind if my Koesisters are different shapes. I really don't. See there, it's nice and soft. Look at that. Right? And it goes. Look at that. And even if you keep it, it stretches. Okay. Here we go. And I'll continue frying the Koesisters, and when we come back, I'll show you the next step. Okay, welcome back guys. This is part 2 of my Koesister video. I didn't want to leave out anything, so that's why it's got 2 parts. And if you're looking for part 1, it is on my playlist, how to make Koesisters. Okay. You'll see it's got a nice dark brown color. I like it darker. I really do. And you'll see it's nice. It's floating. And you'll know when it's done when you see the bubbles. There are very, very few bubbles left, and it's light and airy. Look there, and quite buoyant. Okay, and then you're ready to take it out. So I'm going to take it out and put it on a tray with toweling paper to absorb the oil. This oil is also reusable. Okay. And I'm going to carry on frying this batch. And when we come back, we will sugar the Koesisters, meaning we'll drop it into the sugar syrup. And just show you some more of this. There's just something about making Koesisters, and the whole house smells like all the spices that's in here. This reminds me so of growing up. My mommy used to make it fresh every Sunday morning. She also used to sell it as well. And where we grew up, it was a favorite thing to buy as well by neighbors or aunties who made it on a Sunday. And the rule was that you must come to the lady with your own container, whether it's a Tupperware container or a glass bowl, and everyone would stand in this long queue and whichever auntie was selling it, she'd do everything, fresh. Like she'll sugar it and let it nice soak for a minute or two in the sugar syrup and take it out, and you'll see what's going to happen next. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and now we're going to put the Koesisters in the syrup. And this is on a nice medium to high heat. My other tip is, every time you put in a new batch of Koesisters, add a small bit of water, about 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons of water. Okay. And let me just show you unsugared. It's quite soft. Okay. I like using large pans, but you can use smaller ones. And the remaining Koesisters, you can actually cool it off and put it in Ziploc bags and freeze it, and then take it out whenever you need and let it thaw for about half an hour to an hour, and then you syrup it, put it in the syrup, and this syrup, if there's any left, cool it off, put it in a container, and you can store it in the fridge or next to the stove. Ooh, frikadel. I'm not used to using this. Okay, can you see that nice shine? If there are too many bubbles, if the bubbles become like a million, then you need to add water, because then it's becoming a very almost like hard, and you don't want that. Okay, here we go. You see now? Be patient. There we go. Put the heat lower. Take it out, and then you sprinkle some coconut, fine coconut, on your plate. There we go. Look at that. Okay, and then generously and there you have it. Koesisters, Cape Malay Koesisters, done. It's that easy. Make it for your family and serve it with a nice hot cup of tea or coffee. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye everyone.